only reason why they forced the jet to land because he's registered to be on the jet, right?
Exactly.
Now watch this. When they landed the jet, the nigga wasn't there. He's making a...
This boy playing chess. What's good? Listen, man. So, P. Diddy is in a whole lot of He haven't been charged. So, he's being accused of things. Yes, he's been accused left and right. I mean, but at the end of the day, there have been no charges brought forth. So, for those who have been out of the loop and have not been paying attention to what's been going on, Mr. Diddy obviously got raided at multiple homes at the same exact time. Now, these are the feds that are supposedly trying to build a case against him and a lot of other situations at hand, okay? Trafficking, driving, you know what I'm saying? He is into a lot of things, and the question is, why are you kicking in his doors, trying to find evidence, but he's not even being charged? At some point, that would kind of seem like that's unlawful. But you also have to understand this before we get into these clips. The media is very powerful. They can make someone who is actually innocent seem guilty. Now, I'm not saying that P. Diddy is innocent whatsoever. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is the manipulation of the way media is created, and unfortunately, the way that we as a community, when we see our own people going down, we jump on the bandwagon and we help them out, and we actually add fuel to the fire. In other cultures, if someone was to see their people go down, they don't even talk about it. But that's a whole mystery in itself. So that's one thing that we need to, you know what I'm saying, kind of check within ourselves. But he is innocent until proven guilty. The media and what they portray on TV and what we consume, we would automatically assume such person is guilty. But let's jump into these videos and let me know your opinion. Is he guilty? Let's get into it. Diddy sells off all revoked TV shares to an anonymous buyer. This was brought up about a week ago. Everything basically happened simultaneously. When those raids happened, he was already gone. He flew out of the country. Around that same time, Diddy sells off the TV shares to an anonymous buyer. My question to y'all is, do you think he was tipped off about the situation at hand that was about to happen? And why would he sell all of his shares and just take the money and go? Think about that. Now, this is showing Diddy's Los Angeles and Miami homes being raided by Homeland Security in connection to trafficking investigation. His son Justin Combs is in handcuffs. While his homes were being raided, he was on the airplane out of here, okay? Left the kids, left the rest of his family. There are a lot of things that are not brought to the light. Diddy has been living a life, whether you want to call it sin, whatever you want to call it, but Diddy has been living his life for multiple decades, okay? Ever since like the 90s or probably even before that. When you're put into a position of power, most people have to make a sacrifice, and you have to read in between the lines when I say this. They also do things that are not common. When you hear these allegations about him doing rappers, you know, the wrong way.
I just had a question. I'm just trying to tell all these young cats out there trying to come up, you know, like, where do you think they gotta go to? From your point of view, you know what I'm saying? What is the best advice you could give them? Because I be telling them, like, my best advice is they gotta do it their whole new way, different way, like they from another planet. But coming from you, coming from the man of men right now, tell them something good.
I mean, first of all, you want to stay away from these Diddy popping motherfuckers. Motherfuckers dancing all on the motherfucking stage and shit. They want your ass. You call them astronauts, so be afraid. Be very afraid.
You really ain't built for the game.
Or something.
Something like that.
Don't be trying to be famous, or you gonna run into a motherfucker like that.
Do you think that is something that actually happened? Do you think that actually transpired or whatever? Like everybody talking about Meek Mill had a situation going on with P. Diddy, and
I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Real street nigga forever. Bitch, I'm the king of Philly.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Sometimes there would be an interview with P. Diddy and other artists, and they would talk in code, but if you hear their language and their body gestures and stuff like that, it kind of tells you everything that you need to know. So it's just all about reading in between those lines. Also, to top that off, like, people make these sacrifices because they want this bag or whatever the case may be. So a lot of people are put into the situation like, okay, well, should I go into this party with P. Diddy, or should I, just say no and live my life as a regular person? A lot of times people will say, you know what, I'll go in there with Diddy. A lot of people are coming out saying like, hey, Diddy did the same thing to me. Diddy did the same thing to me. It was a party, X, Y, and Z. They put something in my cup and everything unfolded like that. But so my question to my listeners is, if you were put into a situation, on one side you're living your basic life, and on the other side you have a chance to become this millionaire, or you have the chance to become the best person supposedly that you can be, but in order for you to cross that stepping stone, you have to cross paths with quote unquote Diddy, and you have to do something strange for a little piece of change. Okay, so within that, what would you do? Would you go ahead and be like, you know what, 30 minutes, or a couple days with Diddy or whatever, hey, it is what it is, I'm gonna let the bygones be bygones and I'm gonna move on with my life? Now, people have made it around Diddy, but at the same time, a lot of the people that have crossed paths with him and didn't want to do these type of actions, their career ended up fizzling out. So if you pay attention to the people that like was making it to the top and they was hot, and you knew that they was hot, and you knew that they should have made it, but they didn't, and their career just started to fizzle out, well, why do you think that is? You should be able to do the math, okay? Maybe so-and-so didn't want to have a sacrifice made. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things are brought to these artists. Hey, if you want to reach the next stage in life, well, you have to do this. You need to come to this ritual. You need to do this. And that is the problem, because we are so money hungry that we want to be like, you know what? I don't even care. I don't care about my mom. I don't care about my dad. It is what it is. I'm chasing the bag. Whatever y'all gonna do, just go ahead and do it. Yeah, I'm gonna cry about it. Yeah, I'm gonna do this and that about it. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have money. No. Even though he hasn't been charged, there are a lot of people coming forward. This is the issue. He pissed the wrong person off, because he was getting away with it for so many decades. And now all of a sudden, everything is falling right in front of his eyes.
To a sex trafficking investigation.
He got some shots of a few people coming out of the home. Those people have been detained. Now we're trying to still connect the dots. We do have some sources on scene here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say, less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this street where Tony is right now to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats, and law enforcement. And on the other side of those bushes, basically, is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films.
That is his son being cuffed up. He had to learn it from someone. He had to be working underneath somebody. So even though P. Diddy is in a spotlight, it's somebody else who was doing this that's above him that hasn't even been touched. So it's deeper than just Diddy, because this is in the industry as a whole, and not even just in the music industry. I'm talking about in the Hollywood industry. It's happening everywhere. Anywhere where it's involving substantial amounts of money. It's sacrifice, it's doing this, that, and the third. And in order for you to get to that next plateau in life, it's either you're gonna take it or you're not. P. Diddy, take that. Just like I said, he was underneath somebody, okay? And it's crazy how I just found this. So Candace Owens, I do agree with her on some of the pointers that she makes, and this is a perfect one right here. And it says the feds are currently raiding Diddy's house. They already knew what he was up to, but it's going to be the fall guy so that they can protect the people at the top of the ring. They are raiding his home to hide evidence, not find it. Wow. So with that being said, I didn't even think about it like that, okay? So what do y'all think about what Candace Owens said? That kind of makes sense to me because, well, you raid someone's home, you got clear evidence that this person is doing X, Y, and Z. When you go in that house, you supposed to come out with some evidence. None was found. Seems kind of suspicious. What do y'all think about that? He is the fall guy because before he came to this industry was already set in stone. Therefore, he was working under someone else. So he's not the big man in charge here. So who is the big man in charge? That's the question. As we know, especially when it has to do with black people, everybody's going to come forward now and be like, you know what? He did it to me. He did it to me. Diddy had so many people following him. Diddy did put a lot of people on. Diddy did a lot of people shady, making the band. I mean, let's be real. I mean, he made a TV show and told these people, hey, you're going to make it. You're going to be the next one. You're going to walk 25 miles to get my cheesecake. Unfortunately, they didn't make it. He has people's royalties as hostage, and people was complaining about that. Everything revolves full circle. You know what I'm saying? If you do people dirty is going to come back to you. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care about any of that stuff because the universe works the way it works. You can spend X amount of dollars on security, but it don't even matter because the way the universe works, if you do evil, you shall receive evil. Wax says FBI forced Diddy's jet to land to apprehend him, but he wasn't even on board. So the plot thickens every time, every day. There is something new that's going on with Diddy. He's like the cover of everything right now. Knowing that he wasn't on board, I mean, when you take off, I believe there's a manifesto, and this manifesto has every person that's on board just in case something was to happen. So I believe 9 times out of 10, Diddy, he knew what was going on for sure. Put me on the manifesto, you fly up out of here. He had them fly up out of here, and Diddy might just be in America, or he might have just took a flight somewhere else. Who knows?
They forced Diddy's jet to land, right?
Did they?
The only reason why they forced the jet to land because he's registered to be on the jet, right?
Exactly.
Now watch this. When they landed the jet, the nigga wasn't there. He's making a...
This boy playing chess.
Look, they forced the jet to land. When they landed the jet, he was not on there. The only reason why they're going to force that jet to land is if he's registered on the motherfucking jet.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he must have been on the manifest.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course, but you know that's intentional.
Wait.
Now, Diddy's kids is in handcuffs.
It's no way Diddy gonna be trying to run. Like, Diddy got too
Bro,
much...
they already forced the jet. Look at your text. They forced the jet to land. He wasn't on the jet. You know, like I know, when you book the jet, you got to turn in the names of the people that's going to be on the jet. Everybody got to be accounted for. Exactly. So when they seen that jet moving, his name was registered on that jet. They forced the jet to land. Nobody's on the jet. He wasn't on the jet. Just some women.
Yeah, but Whack, you know which one of the women was on the jet?
I don't know. I know he was. Fuck, it don't matter.
Hold on. Young Miami best friend was on the jet.
Yeah, listen, doesn't matter. Right? They're not exclusive. You keep trying to run a Young Miami narrative.
Whoa. Plain and simple. This boy playing chess. He's not playing checkers, okay? I don't know if he planned out his, escape route, but I'm here to tell you, he probably didn't. Somebody probably told him what to do, like on some Mission Impossible stuff. Like, hey, do this, do that. Don't ask me why, just do it. And he was just like, all right, bet. I'm just going to just follow your commands and just do it. This seemed like some movie type stuff. After everything settles down, we better get a book. 5-10 years from now, we want to know what really happened.
I was personally disturbed many years ago, okay? I know this man well enough to call him and say, hey, I need a favor.
Yeah.
And this might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern.
Yeah.
And I have never talked about this publicly. And he said yes. And they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this is a male, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended. But from there, I was like, oh, like this is how it goes. Okay.
Yeah. Why can't you just get into the game with your talent? Why do you have to go through all of these loopholes, make a sacrifice? Remember what Cat Williams said earlier this year. We haven't even really dived into this P. Diddy thing. I'm gonna catch up to speed, y'all, because I am behind on all of these situations at hand. It's just about the industry, period. For the young people out there that's like, yeah, man, I want to be in the industry so bad. I want to be a rapper. I want to be this, that, and the third. Think about it, man. Is it really worth it? These rappers, that's like the most riskiest business ever, besides like being in a mob. And even the mob is more protected than rappers. People get took out the game, and it's literally a setup. It's just a move on the chessboard. Other people, they may play dumb, but some people may be knowing what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They be in the loop. So is that something that you really want to do? And then after hearing this news about Diddy and, you know what I'm saying, how he runs his business to get people up to the next level, is that something that you willing to do too? Are you willing to make that sacrifice to your body? Will you take the bait? Where's your mindset at? And so with that being said, y'all be smooth. Y'all enjoy your day. I'll holla at y'all.